I cannot believe it is Sunday already. It feels like just 7 days ago. I just did this. Hey, welcome back to Frequently Asked Junk, that thing we do every Sunday where I answer your really important questions with my really unimportant nonsense. We got a lot of questions to get to today. Some real, humdingers, if you will. Do you dip your fries in ketchup or do you just put the ketchup on top of your fries? Well, cassafras. What if I squeeze my fries on top of my ketchup? It's disgusting, I know. I like my ketchup coating to have a fry inside of it. What am I doing here? I prefer my ketchup to be forcefully put around a french fry and then just bludgeoned into my mouth. That's the only way I can eat. It's a lot of mess. Kira McDermott wants me to ask myself if I'm an artist and if I could draw something. Well, let me answer your question with a question. Do you consider fat veiny dicks art? Then I'm fucking Picasso. Oh, Michelangelo, Donatello, art guy, Artie Steve, the painting machine. Cleaves the beeve with his wonderful, tasteful paintings. Prepare to be engorged beyond your wildest dreams. You're gonna be aroused beyond all recognition in just a second. Alright, I call this Sunset Walk on the Beach. It's just a big veiny dick, isn't it? God damn it. Sonia asks, will you wear fishnets for me? Well, Sonia, fishnets, yes. For you, no. That's something that I do for myself, because it makes me feel like a sexy, independent woman. Wolf Inspire asks, would you want to be ugly but live forever, or attractive and only live for a week? If the movie Frankenstein has taught me anything, it's no fun to have people throw rocks at you because they think you're an ugly monster. Especially not one that lives forever. You know, you become an ugly monster, and people write legends about that kind of shit. Gotta go with attractive. Attractive for a week. I don't want to get hit with rocks. Little Johnny Rickfield wants to know, asks me to describe my favorite drink in less than 10 words. Hot. Brown, dog, liquid, Rachel from Friends, zesty, interdimensional, with ice, on ice, pour the whole fucking thing on ice. And of course I'm describing, fuck it, take a guess, leave it in the comments below. If a man is stabbed in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, do his desperate cries for help make a sound? Asks Scoober. It's a really terrible question for such a cute little name. This is one of those old ancient riddles from, but way back when, right? Well, I already know the answer to this one. The killer would have to be a deaf person. Or a really neglectful friend who's just really preoccupied and doesn't have time for your bleeding to death shit. This is just a terrible, terrible friend. And science will tell us that cries for help are only cries for help if somebody hears them and comes to help. I mean, without that, then they're just pointless screams into the abyss. Fucking science! Fucking science! And Emma Clamor wants to know, how long are my northern shortened curlies? Or a beard, if you will. If I'm gonna measure, I get to decide where the base is. About 1.5 inches, which is perfectly average. Cassie asks, how do I promote/sell my item on Kijiji? Nothing says promotion like writing a message in the sky. You could hire an airplane and he could write the URL to your Kijiji post. I think people would more marvel at the fact that there's still someone out there who's taking people's money to write with fumes in the sky. Like a goddamn airplane magician. Tiffany Creco wants to know, do you take the cup off the muffin before or after the first bite? I treat muffins a lot like a serial killer, you know? I cut off the head, and I eat it, and then I dispose of the body. You can scoop out the inside and then pour a little milk in there. Say you got a new girlfriend and you had to go meet their mom and dad. What would be an appropriate introduction? Asks Stephen Vincent. Introducing yourself as Cocklord or the Dark Wang. Dong Thundercleese. These are all very abrasive introductions. I would avoid referring to yourself as any of those things. Imagine Johnson, which sounds a lot like a production company that makes adult films, asks, if you had to be trapped in an American Horror Story season, which one and why? Well, the first one, because that was the only really good one, to be honest. There. What are you gonna do with that information? Come find me. It's also the season that I think would be the easiest for me to fly under the radar and not get murdered. If a person owns a piece of land, do they own it all the way to the core? Asks Laura Wester. I gotta tell you, it is finally nice to be getting asked some legal questions instead of all that medical mumbo jumbo. And of course, it's written down in a clause. It's a big old loophole, and that is, you know, if you buy a plot of land, and underneath it, by chance, there happened to be a subhuman underground people living there already, then of course they own from there down, and you just own to their roof. If you could go back in time and have sex with yourself, is that gay or is that masturbation? Asks Christina Creer. I am going to establish the time travel rule right now. Whatever happens inside yourself stays inside yourself. If you're gonna go back in time and bang yourself, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to think about whether or not it's masturbation if your wiener's in your own butthole. I don't believe it is, sir. If your dick was to be replaced by a musical instrument, what would you want it to be? Asks Jack Hearing. Of course I'm gonna go with a French horn. It's got the right amount of curve and also makes a very similar sound. If I'm not telling you too much information. If you had no choice but to be violated, but you got to choose the violator, and your options were a majestic unicorn, a kangaroo, or Willy Wonka, who would you choose? Asks Cassie Lambert. Willy Wonka, I guess. I feel like he would be the most gentle lover, and there might be a chance that I could be the pitcher and he could be the catcher. I mean, his name is Willy Wonka. I think I got a pretty good chance of being the pitcher. Wow. Thanks for the questions, guys. If you have a question you want me to answer, leave it in a comment below or do it on my Facebook and Twitter. Or just think about it. Think about it real hard and then send those thoughts to me and I will receive them via my brain email. You don't got a fucking brain email, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's got brain email. It's from as far as I know. Just nobody likes to write back. Fuck them. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I don't know when the last time you checked your brain email was, but been sending you some requests to maybe stop firing the litter outside of the litter box. I put it in the box for a reason, and that reason is to catch your shit. It can't be doing that outside the litter box, can it?